So we're moving on to animation. We're gonna adjust the model a little bit to make it a little more appealing and a little more manageable. Then I'm gonna show you how to put objects on the timeline. We're gonna do the anticipation animation, which is that ring that comes in on the initial demo that I showed. We're gonna go over the curve editor, and then we're gonna go into copy and pasting your keys so that you can automate the animation process for the more repetitious animations. All right, so for the adjustments of this, we are going to get rid of this, get rid of this. After I modeled these, I realized after I brought them in that I didn't like them. So we're going to get rid of those. We're going to get rid of pretty much all the square objects because this is really a petal motif. And we are going to keep it that way. So we've got this, and feel free to make this however you want with your geometry. The point is to get something that you like. It's kind of interesting. A circle inside of a triangle, and if it's snapping, it shouldn't be snapping. I don't want it to snap. Turn that off. And so the inner circle and this one. See if we do an inner circle, outer circle of the triangle kind of thing. Is that going to be cool? Yeah, we're now at the part of the project where you just get to play. You've done a ton of work getting the level set up, getting it exactly how you want and like. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, and then let's just click off that just to see. We're going to get rid of this. I'm going to hide it so we don't see anymore. It's okay. Get rid of that. Usually if something isn't working, try getting rid of something rather than making it more complicated. It's just a general rule of thumb. And then I'm going to duplicate this and make it bigger like we did in the other one, in the demo piece. And then let's see. I'm going to duplicate that ring, reduce that, this, these petals a little bigger. I might want to get rid of this ring. Let's hide it and see if we like it. Let's see what happens when we make this ring a little bigger. Okay, and for these, they're a little dark. Oh, I also happen to know that there's geometry there that we can get rid of just on my model. So the glass is not doing it for me. I want something like glass to do something that it is not doing. What is it? Let's try adjusting the material to see if the index of refraction can change to something that we're happy with. Do we need to increase this? Make it a little less opaque? Do we need to adjust to... I despise that. Why do I hate that so much? So after all that effort on that glass shader, could just be that we don't want that glint. We just want the refraction. It looks like the refraction isn't. Yeah, I don't like it when I see the light. It just dulls that glass so much. And I want to focus on that refraction. So can I get the refraction to a point where I can see all the edges? It looks like I can reduce. So can I change the color? Can I change the color to bring a little more attention to that glass? No. I'm just going to leave it just like that. Okay. So we're pushing the refraction beyond what it naturally would be, but we're doing it so that we can get those edges right where they're supposed to be. Let's try another object with that glass. Mandala glass. Or ring. Try and make these the mandala glass. More things that we make glass. Usually if there's a rhythm, but it's just there's not enough behind there. Let's try these. No, those are going to stay opal, those are going to stay opal, and then, yep, that looks like it's going to be, we're going to duplicate this, make this small. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to put them into the correct position here, so I want this to be here, I want this to be slightly above that. This ring, I actually don't want it to be glass, I want it to be opal. I want this to be slightly bigger, I want this to be slightly smaller, and this needs to be 0, that needs to be 0. Let's try this as glass. Okay, and then there is another. Seeds are, duplicate those. Let's see what happens when we out. I hate that. So we're just gonna delete. Let's try it smaller. Let's try deleting this ring and making it a ring instead. I hate that too. So when it gets to the point where the changes, you hate the changes you're making, just move on. So now that we have our model all good to go, we have it organized over here. I'm gonna do Mandala, go to the content drawer, and we're gonna open up our sequence, open this up in the level, and we're just gonna add all these 11 actors. Actually, before we do that, let's name these. So we're gonna call this outer ring. This one is outer ring seeds. And what I'm about to do here is I'm just going to parent. So this is now the parent of the seed. So anytime anything that happens to this will happen to this. That's just so we don't have to animate as much. Inner ring. Looks like we've got a duplicate. So let's verify that. Yep, that's a duplicate, so we can delete that. And what is this? Those inner petals. Just go through this whole process till you get all of the pieces appropriately named. Now that those are all labeled, we go and just drag them into the timeline. We're just gonna start animating. All right, we are going to turn off all of these other pieces except for the outer ring. We're gonna go to the outer ring, and at 0, we're going to create a keyframe on the transform, and we're gonna go out to, we're gonna need to give us more time and space here, so let's do like 500 here. Drag this out. We're just gonna need to give ourselves a lot more time. Let's just see how fast this goes. Cool. That's about right. So we're gonna actually go about right there. And then right here in the middle, we're gonna do another transform, but now we're going to select our ring here, and we're just gonna make it super duper small. And it should make a key because we selected this, the auto keyframe. Now we should see goes big to small, but we kind of want to adjust some of these. So we're going to use these arrows, go to part, and we really want this outer ring to be 0 at its smallest point. We don't want to be able to see it at all. So it should go all the way down to 0 and then all the way back out. And now we're going to go to the curve editor. This is the curve editor. Let's slap it over here for you. And we're going to select the outer ring transform scale. So you'll see that kind of slowly goes into it and then slowly comes out of it. And we want to alter that. We want this to be, we want it to feel like it's getting heavier. I want to break these and just, I want to feel like it's kind of floating at first and then just gets heavy and then just collapses in on itself and then bounces back out again. So that's a lot. Yeah. And also something else we want to do is we kind of want this to be bigger. Like we want it to come in almost from off screen. Where'd it go? Outer ring scale. So let's try that. Yeah, that camera isn't really doing what we want it to do, so we'll have to readjust that in a minute. But yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see. It's just gonna. Yep, and we can polish that more, but as far as the first passive animation goes, that's pretty good. Got a bounce. I would like it to go a little like more rapid on the up. Okay. You'll notice this line almost looks like a bouncing ball animation. Kind of adjust that so that it looks a little more, it kind of collapses in on itself and bounces back out. Yeah, that's kind of the effect we want. All right, now let's just go piece by piece, and we want to animate each one blooming as this circle opens. So we have this is referred to as an anticipation animation. So something's about to happen and then everything's going to bloom. So for this next one, we're going to go to the part where it's at 0, and we're going to set these petals as transform scale. That's the point where it has to come in. And we're going to go to the last frame, and we're going to set another one. And we're going to, let's go to the front. Set another one. So now at this scale, this has to be 0, and then it will go to, we'll also want to set this at 0, and then it will bloom out. So we'll go through this. Okay, that seems a little slow. We kind of want, and that's where we're going to go in and adjust now the curve editor on this. The glass petal, just put them all on the same thing here. I want the pedal animation to be a little more rapid than that. So we just want it to just kind of jump. Yeah, but not quite fast. I just want there to be a little more space between the pedals initially, and then there we go. So there we go. Now we're going to take these keyframes that we made for the pedals, and we are going to copy and paste them